Hey, what's up? What's up? It's Denny V here again, DMV Films.
Okay, what even are the commandments of Judaism? Aren't they just the same thing as the 10 commandments? The answer is no. Judaism contains a lot more commandments than just 10, a lot of which are actually possible to follow in Minecraft. And there are a lot that aren't. Let me explain a little something. There are 3 Abrahamic religions: Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Each one has a list of rules that is at the foundation. Islam has 5 main rules with the pillars. Christianity has 10 with the commandments. Guess how many Judaism has? 613. 613.
I actually didn't know this. I thought Islam had way more important commandments. So Salah is prayer. Shahada is the testament of faith. The Zakat is giving charity. And Hajj is making pilgrimage to Mecca. Swam is the fasting for Ramadan.
Christianity has 10 with the commandments. Guess how many Judaism has? 613. 613
Yep.
rules that you're going to have to follow within the game of Minecraft. This is such a massive amount. We need to be organized, or else this challenge will be too overwhelming. It'll be impossible. Luckily for me, the commandments have already been divided up into 34 separate categories. So let's take a look at the first category: God. The first thing that you probably notice is the way that I spelled this. Why would I put a dash instead of the O? Well, that brings me to the first rule that I want to set for this Minecraft run. The God category contains 10 commandments, but for simplicity's sake, there's really only one that I want to worry about, and that is not to profane God's name. In Judaism, the name of God is so sacred that many Orthodox Jews spell it with the dash instead of the O out of reverence. So if I'm in my Minecraft run and I say anything...
So technically, it's only really in print because you can't destroy the name of God. The only time you can destroy the name of God is a priest in the temple in order to protect the sanctity of marriage. I'm not going to go into it. It's called Sota. It's when a woman cheats on a man. There's a way to find out if she cheated or not. Anyway.
Thing along the lines of, ooh, good Lord, there's a village right here. Can I make this jump? Ooh, oh my God. The run is instantly over, and I'm forbidden from spelling the name of God without the dash. Kosher speed run. Let's go. Okay, not the best spawn. Starting right now, I can't say, you know what?
I think playing video games is probably the biggest waste of time that a person can do. I've never played Minecraft in my life, but I know it's very popular.
I can't say that. There's 10 out of 613 rules. What have I gotten myself into? This is going to be way too hard. Ooh, look, dude. It's some pigs for us to eat. Look, we can kill one right now. Wait! Let's talk about the second category of commandments that we need to follow: the dietary laws. This category contains 27 commandments and basically outlines the things that we can and cannot eat. As for animals, this is what the scripture has to say. Any animal that has true hoofs, with clefts through the hoofs, and that chews the cud, such you may eat. Because pigs have split hooves but do not chew their cud, this makes them not kosher, so pigs are off the menu in this run. But wait a second, there's another specific thing that makes meat kosher, and that's the slaughter method. For this, a shohet is required, who is basically an expert slaughterer trained in Jewish law, and what they do is they make a say. Any animal that has true hoofs, with clefts through the hoofs, and that chews the cud, such you may eat. Because pigs have split hooves but do not chew their cud, this makes them not kosher, so pigs are off the menu in this run. But wait a second, there's another specific thing that makes meat kosher, and that's the slaughter method. For this, a shohet is required, who is basically an expert slaughterer trained in Jewish law, and what they do is they make a single cut with a special knife called a shalef.
The best thing so far, even though this guy is clearly not Jewish, he's not saying anything Jew-hating, which is really great. He's just saying his best information about what Judaism is. That's really good.
To kill the animal in a humane way. Since we don't have access to either of these things in Minecraft, I'm going to say there's no possible way we can make meat kosher, so we'll be prohibited from eating it for the duration of the run. So we'll have to make do with produce, all of which is considered kosher. Yeah, you guys really thought I was going to kill that pig.
So long story short,
You guys
I grew up as an Israelite, which are black people that just decided they're Jewish without Jewish law. And that's basically what we did. We just kept vegan. We basically did vegan. We ate no cheese and we ate no meat, which basically are the two hardest things to keep kosher with, surprisingly enough.
thought. Anyways, I think that a good start would actually just be to cut down all these trees and just wait for the apples to drop.
A few
Now, by the way, it's not kosher to cut down fruit-bearing trees. I don't know if you knew that or not. You're not allowed to do that. You're only allowed to cut down a fruit-bearing tree in very unique situations.
Moments later.
Okay, so we have a few apples. Okay, after I eat, there's going to be another rule that kicks in. Really quickly, let's go over the third category of commandments, the prayers and blessings. This category only has 4 commandments, which
Yes.
makes
Believe it or not, there's a blessing that we say after every time we use the bathroom. Afterwards, there's a blessing we say. Every time we eat any bread, there's a blessing we say before and after. There's a blessing we say before, after. We say even things with any wheat, barley, spelt, oats. There's we constantly say blessings all day.
Just one. Basically, we have to pray a few times per day when certain events happen, which are after we eat, in the morning, and at night. The prayer after we eat can be
So it's not
accomplished by
just in the morning and the evening. It's also in the afternoon time. We say a special prayer.
typing the words, "Thank you for giving food into this world," into the chat. This sounds pretty simple, but we have to do this
That's basically the synopsis. Thank you, God, for giving us stuff. That's basically a good synopsis of all the blessings. The point is to acknowledge that everything you have comes from God.
every time after we eat, including if we're fighting something. So this rule really has the potential to mess us up. The second and third times that we have to pray are in the morning and night, where we will type a part of the Shema. The Lord is our God. The
It's not Shema. It's not Shema. It's Shema. Shema.
Lord is one.
Shema means hear. Shema, hear.
Into the chat. Again, this is pretty simple, but there's potential for us to forget and lose the challenge. Anyways, let's get back to the gameplay. Now I have to type, "Thank you for giving food to this world." We have to say that after every single time we eat, no matter what. Ooh, I hear a skeleton. Hopefully I don't have to fight him. Just a quick little note, there are Jewish laws about fighting, which I will reveal later. But for now, just enjoy.
By the way, of course, if you know someone's dangerous, you should just leave. You should just run away if you can. But if you can't leave, you can just kill them. To be honest, it sounds kind of extreme, but like that's the way the law is written. You don't have to wait for somebody who's a danger to you, who's trying to kill you to kill you first. You can just kill them, and then you deal with the problems later.
Oh no. I do not want to fight this thing. Oh,
I
wait. What happened? Did I die?
So funny enough, in Jewish ideas, the idea of hell. So everyone knows heaven and hell, right? So hell is not a big thing in Judaism. The idea in Judaism is that if someone is really bad, they only go for, it's called Gehenna, which is a field of burning. They only go there for long enough to purify their soul, which is a short time. And then either if they're really bad, they'll just be killed. Their soul will just be destroyed. That's it. It's kind of like imagine a factory. If the product that you make is really, really crap, you don't try to fix it. It's so bad, you just throw it away. So the idea of hell is not a big Jewish thing. You're just gonna die. That's it. Bye bye. You're out of here. If you're kind of good, you need help. You'll get Gehenna, which is a period of purification, and then you'll go to heaven.
Am I in heaven? Oh.
Also,
Anyway, since we just died, what are the Jewish commandments?
Also, Jews believe in reincarnation, which means that a person who is sort of good but sort of bad can actually get another chance to live again and try again, like a video game. They can respawn.
Shall not murder. But this leaves a lot up to interpretation. Do undead mobs count as murder? Do skeletons count? Just for the challenge's sake, I'm going to say that I'm not allowed to kill anything unless it's absolutely necessary for the run to continue. For example, I'll be allowed to kill blazes because they're required to progress in the game. Also, if my life...
It is true that Jews really value life. We don't want to kill anyone because every single creation is a creation of God. Every single thing on earth, whether even a spider or a fly or a bug, if we have opportunity, let's say there's a spider in our house, it's better to take it out. We'll try to take it outside rather than kill it. We don't want to kill anything because every single thing on earth was created by God. So that is kind of true. But if someone is threatening your life, you don't have to wait. You could just kill them. We don't want to kill them, but I'm not gonna let my daughter die to wait and see what you're gonna do. If you're threatening me, I'm sorry, you're out of here.
If it's actually in danger, like it just was with the skeleton, I'll be allowed to fight it. But other than that, no killing. Okay, it's annoying that we died, but like, it's okay. Let's just get another attempt in. Okay, so I found a village, which is good, but unfortunately we cannot steal anything because that's some of the commandments.
That's the other thing. There's something called hefker, which means if something is ownerless. So if something is ownerless, if it's truly something that no one owns, you're allowed to take it. So if you have something that has no one's name on it, that has no signifying features, you're allowed to take it. Now you have to be careful with that, right? But stealing doesn't mean you're taking something that's not just not yours specifically. It has to be something that belongs to someone specifically. You have to be very careful with this kind of stuff. You have to ask a rabbi.
So, but I think this is like where I want to settle down and build a house. And yes, this challenge requires that I build a house, believe it or not. Okay, it's turning night. We pray, now we can go to sleep. As you can see, we're really struggling with food because like the only food we can really get is apples and stuff that we grow because we can't steal it from the village. So like I really need to get a farm going. All right, so we're officially out of sprint. Okay, so it is currently Minecraft day 3, and we have until the end of day 6 to finish building a house. I'll explain why there's a time limit on building a house later, but you're gonna want to stick around to see why we need this house. Let me tell you. Okay, hold on. Why the heck am I actually building a house? Well, let me introduce you to the next category of commandments. The times and seasons. This category has 35 commandments, but there are really only 4 that apply to Minecraft, all of which have to do with Shabbat or the Sabbath. They are to sanctify the Sabbath, not to work on the Sabbath, to rest on the Sabbath, but most importantly, not to leave your place of residence on the Sabbath. This is why I had to build a house.
So real quick, there is a thing you're not supposed to leave your place of residence on the Sabbath. But long story short, what it means is like there's all these tricks behind it. So basically, not tricks, but there's all kind of loopholes. So basically, you're allowed to leave your house to worship with other Jews. You're also allowed to walk in a built-up area. So let's say you're in the middle of a city. You're allowed to walk through the city. You're allowed to. You shouldn't walk out in the wilderness, except you can build a eruv. An eruv is a walled area, a enclosed area that you designated for whatever purpose. So yes, but no. Yes, you have to stay in your residence, but also you have to you're allowed to make preparations to go beyond that on the Sabbath.
Had to have a place to reside during the Sabbath. So the official rule is that every 7th Minecraft day, we must be inside of our house resting for the entirety of the day. Don't laugh. Okay, it is now Minecraft day 6 out of 7. Okay, this isn't much, but this looks like such garbage. I'm going to fix this up, by the way. And once we wake up, we're not allowed to leave the house. We're not allowed.
It is true that in Judaism, a house is very important, a home, because there's a lot of laws in Judaism about tznius, which is modesty. You're supposed to have, also in Judaism, you have to get married. A man has to do everything he possibly can to get married and have children. So in Judaism, a man has to get married. Now, a woman does not have to get married because, long story short, a woman can die, heaven forbid, in childbirth. So a woman does not have to do anything to get married. Now, practically, because most women want to get married. Most women want children. They want a wedding. But primarily, the work has to fall on the man. So that means having a place, either an apartment or a home where your family can dwell.
Do any work. We're not allowed to do anything except pray. Now we just have to sit here. We can't place any blocks. We can't break any blocks. We can't move anything around in chests. Really, the only thing we're allowed to do is study the.
So basically, the laws of Sabbath, the long story short, the laws of Shabbos are you have to spend your time primarily enjoying basically life. Don't change life. Don't build. Don't write. Don't work. Don't make money. You're going to spend time with your family. You're going to pray. You're going to learn Torah and spend time. That's the synopsis of the laws of Sabbath. Just stop all the creative work you do, whether it's art or science or writing or math or using a computer, or driving a car, earning a parnasa, which is a income. Just sit and be with your family, daven, pray, and etc.
Torah. So let me go do that for a couple minutes.
I would say in a game, that would be the hardest thing. For a whole day, you're not allowed to do most of what Minecraft is building, I would imagine, because it's called Minecraft. Building and mining.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel well rested. Really, the only thing we're allowed to do is study the Torah, so let me go do that for a couple minutes.
Yeah, one of the reasons this picture is diabolical. Why is this guy's nose so big? It's kind of diabolical, but anyway, yeah, that's one of the main reasons given for the Torah. The Shabbos is that we should sit and learn Torah at least once a week.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel well rested after that Sabbath. Okay, first things first, let's expand our farm. All right, that should be big enough. The second thing we need to do is fix this house, so maybe you guys can't really tell the difference, but it looks better, guys, trust me. And the inside looks better too. Okay, now that we're kind of set up, we can kind of go into the more unique things about this challenge, and there are quite a few of them. Okay, so before we get into the truly crazy rules of this challenge, I need to explain something about Judaism. If you've been really paying attention, even after all these rules that I've explained so far, we haven't covered a sixth of the total commandments. So why? Well, we can split them up into two categories: positive commandments and negative commandments. A negative commandment is something that prohibits you from doing something. For example, the commandment "Thou shalt not murder" asks you not to murder. A positive commandment would be asking you to actually do something. For example, start digging in your butt twin. Okay, that one's not in the Torah, but you get the point. What I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of commandments that ask us not to do something that would be impossible to do in Minecraft anyway, so we don't have to worry about them. This covers a lot of commandments, but there are a few positive commandments that we still have to follow. This first one's a fun one. We're actually going to have to build a tabernacle. If you don't know what this is, it's basically the sanctuary that the ancient Jewish people used to worship. So let's just go back into our mind.
So that's interesting. You don't have to build a tabernacle. The only people that can build the tabernacle would be the temple. The only people that are actively called to build the temple would be the king. Would be people of the Skion, the heritage of King David. It's debatable, but long story short, you can only build a tabernacle in one place, which is the Temple Mount. Today, anyway. So you're not really called on. You're not really called on to build the tabernacle. You're not.
Minecraft world and build kind of whatever we want. It's not like there's a complicated and extremely detailed guide found within the Jewish text that specifies exactly how our tabernacle should be built. What? Welcome to How to Build a Tabernacle 101. First of all, the tabernacle must be built out of acacia wood. No, I did not make this up. There are multiple verses that specify that it should be built out of specifically acacia wood. Step 2. Refer to the schematic constructed by Jewish scholars on the exact dimensions of the tabernacle. Okay, so real talk. The commandments actually do command us to build a tabernacle, and I think that... Okay,
So basically, the long story short, the purpose of the tabernacle is to build an even closer relationship with God. So everything in the Torah is about building a personal relationship with God. It's about making God your personal Lord and Savior, which I know sounds ironic because people from Christianity are familiar with that term, but that's the whole point of Judaism, that God is your Lord and Savior. He is your Lord, meaning he is your master of your life, and your Savior, meaning that he delivers you from all problems and evil in your life. And that's the whole purpose of the commandments, to bring you closer to God. So no, you're not called on to build a tabernacle. It's a national effort under the directions of the leaders of the nation. As an individual, you're not even allowed to build a tabernacle yourself. You're not allowed to offer sacrifices yourself, etc.
Okay, this space behind our house is probably the best area to build the tabernacle in. I mean, look how flat this is. Okay, the tabernacle was 100 cubits long and 50 cubits wide, which cubits are basically just like an ancient measurement.
I mean, to be honest though, if I could build a tabernacle, I totally would. I totally would, because I would say the tabernacle, which is the temple, it's called the Mishkan in Hebrew, is probably one of the coolest things in Judaism. It's like the Holy Grail, as it were. That's where the Ark of the Covenant is. That's it. That's the Holy Grail of Judaism, is the tabernacle.
Blocks long,
The
like 25
Mishkan.
blocks wide. Okay, so that should be the rectangle of like where the courtyard is going to be. We just got to fill it in. Okay, so I think the next thing that we need to do is we need to build a fence around here. Okay, so there's the fence done. So now we have the courtyard and the fence. Now it's time to start putting some of the details. So first things first, we need to put this campfire in the middle, because look at the picture, man. It's there. And there's like all these benches around it.
It is so
to build like the actual structure of the tabernacle.
it
So
is
basically what this
it is crazy, so cool that a non-Jewish guy built an entire Mishkan in Minecraft. Like, that's crazy to me, because Minecraft is, I would say, the amount of Jews that play Minecraft is probably pretty low. I mean, religious Jews that are observant, is pretty low. So like, literally, this is a new frontier for Judaism. Building the tabernacle in Minecraft is crazy.
It was a sanctuary that the ancient Jewish people used to worship, and it was like a temporary sanctuary. It wasn't supposed to be like a building that was like existed for a long time. It was built with these 5 pillars, so let's do that. Okay, that looks perfect, just like...
So it was
Okay,
it was a mobile Mishkan. It was mobile. It wasn't temporary, it was mobile. It was constantly put up in different places.
Need to do the walls. Okay, so the basic structure is now complete. So if we look at the inside of the tabernacle, basically it's split up into 2. It's like the holy place and then the holiest of holy places. And basically that's where they keep the ark. So let's kind of split this up into 2. Okay, now we need to work on the covering. And this is something that's actually a commandment. It talks about having a red linen. So I'm going to cover up the roof with red wool. So let's get some of that. Okay, perfect. Now last thing, we need to make those little diagonal things down. We can't really do it with wool, so let's just do it with some wood. Okay, we're pretty much done. We just need to put a cauldron to represent the brazen levar. I don't know how to say that, but you know. Okay, we have one last thing until the tabernacle's done. So let's go.
No, you said it right. It's a lever. That's a place where the Kohanim would wash their feet and hands, which is very important. Washing is a big thing in Judaism. Washing is probably the number 1 mitzvah of Judaism. I would say, for instance, a woman, before she can be with her husband, after her time of the month, she does a special washing in a special pool. First in the normal shower and then in the special pool. Now, why? Because the copulation between a man and a woman is probably the holiest thing, and one of the holiest thing in Judaism, because through that, a couple can bring in a new Jew into the world. We wash our hands constantly. We wash our hands after we use number 2. Number 2 in the bathroom. We wash our hands anyway, but I'm saying we do a special washing with a special cup. After that, before we eat bread, we do a special washing. And also we do special washing in a special pool of water on Yom Kippur, before Yom Kippur, which Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement, which is the holiest day in Judaism, when all our sins are washed away, before Rosh Hashanah, which is the head of the year, which is a special prayer we do, which is about 10 days before Rosh Hashanah. I believe it's 10 days before Rosh Hashanah. And Rosh Hashanah is the head of the year, the new year. Basically, it's not the real new year. I don't want to get too complicated, but it is considered the new year because it's the civil new year. I don't want to get too complicated into this.
This is the holiest of holy places, which is where they kept the Ark of the Covenant, like the one in Indiana Jones.
The real Jewish New Year is actually in Passover, but it's considered the new year for the world, so when the whole world is judged.
Gold blocks to put in here to represent the Ark, so I'm going to go mining to see if I can get enough gold. Guys, I've been mining for well over an hour. I have 6 gold. I'm just going to go to the nether, okay? Yeah, man, we're going to the nether in our run. Yeah, we're going to get some blaze rods. Nope, I'm looking for gold for my freaking tabernacle. Terrible spawn. My collar's blue, but my neck is red. I've been working like a dog just to keep my family fed. Okay, that's 2 gold blocks. Okay, this is a big moment. Once we put these 2 gold blocks in, our tabernacle is officially complete, baby. Yes! Okay, I know what you're thinking. We got the tabernacle done. We're all set up. We have our house. We've been resting on the Sabbath. We've been praying every day. Let's just go beat the game, right? Ah! There's one more final rule that we have to follow before we can go beat the Indirect. And it's a doozy. We have to recreate an entire copy of the Torah. First of all, what even is the Torah? Well, it's just the first 5 books of the Old Testament. And yes, there actually is a commandment that tells us that every person should write a scroll of the Torah for himself. So how are we going to do this? Well, the answer...
That is true. Every man, not every person, a woman is not required. Every man is supposed to write a Torah in his lifetime. And the issue is, why is that so hard? Because it has to be filled to exacting standards. It has to be written on a special scroll, which is written with the old style of scroll, a scroll, right? A actual scroll with leather on leather, special leather prepared from a special cow, written with special handwriting. That's what makes it so hard. So essentially today, a Sefer Torah costs approximately $30,000 to $100,000. I would say, let's be realistic, about $40,000 to write a Torah scroll. Because why all these rules? Look, there's a standard that's been established over time, and that's the standard. So basically, it costs about $40,000 to write such a scroll.
Is the book and quill, which requires 3 ingredients to craft: a book, a feather, and an ink sac. To get the book.
So usually, what happens is that men, when they get enough money, they sponsor a special rabbi to write the scroll. There's special, they call it a sofer, which is a person who has a special training to write a kosher Sefer Torah. It's special writing, it's special whatever. It has to be exacting standards.
Books we can trade with the librarian villager, which is allowed by the Jewish commandments, which state that we can trade goods as long as it's fair. The problem comes with the ink sac and the feather, because we have to kill animals to get these items. We already established that we can't eat animals because we're in the correct way, but can we use other parts of them? I'm going to say yes, as long as our killing method is humane. So now all we have to do is gather materials and then copy paste the entire...
Yeah, I mean, even parts of the animal you can't eat, you are allowed to use them. So any like for instance, all the things we wear, like our tefillin, um, all the different parts are from a kosher animal, even if that part we can't eat it.
There's 600 pages of the Torah one by one into each book. Sounds easy. Oh, look, it's a librarian. Okay, I already know what you guys are going to say.
So I would say so far, like with building the Mishkan and the writing the Sefer Torah, it's kind of gimmicky. Like the average person, they will experience this. The Mishkan never writing the Torah. I don't even know if every person, every man, actually succeeds in making their own Sefer Torah. I have written a letter in the Torah, which some people would say that it's considered as if I write the whole Torah.
Wait, isn't it breaking the commandments if he's killing animals in a non-kosher way?
It is technically breaking the rules, but I think this is a worthy exception because there's really literally no other way for us to write our own Torah without killing a few chickens and squids for their drops. Okay, now begins the excruciating process of copy-pasting one page at a time, the entire 600-page long Torah. Let's see how long this takes me, guys. Okay, guys, drop your bets. How long did it take for me to copy-paste the entire Torah into books in Minecraft? An hour? 2 hours? 5 hours! It took 5 hours of doing this! And I even installed a mod that allows me to
Yo, that's crazy to me that he actually spent 5... That's commitment. This guy is something special. 5 hours of copy and pasting...
copy-paste more in at a time. And
for something that most men, they only do once in their life if they're lucky.
it still took that long. So if you're wondering why it takes so long to make these videos, it's because I'm so like that. Every single book, man. Every single one. Look at that. The entire Torah. Oh my gosh. On day 33, we can now start thinking about actually beating the game. Only armor we have is gold boots. What are we doing? We have a tabernacle. We have an entire recreation of the Torah. No iron armor. That's literally just this challenge. It's like, it started, we were thinking about beating the game, and then, we gotta build the tabernacle, and then, we gotta make an entire recreation of the Torah, and now we can finally beat the game. All right, iron armor, finally. Okay, I have to be careful to remove the golden boots and then put this on, because that's actually a commandment. You can't wear clothing made of different mixed fabrics, so the more...
Yeah, so basically, it's not mixed fabrics. You're allowed to wear mixed fabrics. You just can't wear specifically wool and linen together, which is pretty easy to do. So the only times that wool and linen is an issue is really a suit. When you buy a suit jacket, a lot of times nowadays, the neck of the jacket has linen, even though most jackets are wool. So it's easy to get around. One way to get around this is if you buy suits that are cheaper. A lot of times they're made of polyester or whatever. Okay, so no problem. The other way to avoid it is if you so we actually have special rabbis that check our suits. So all my suits, I actually have them checked by a rabbi. But there's a little label here. It says non-shotness. It's checked by a rabbi. Shotness is wool and linen mixed together. So it's very important. I mean, wearing wool and linen mixed together is a sin in Judaism. It's actually a sin.
Right? Okay, it's not the Sabbath, so let's rest up, and then we can go beat the game. Okay, while I'm resting, let's do a little refresher on the rules before I go into the nether. There are really only 2 big ones we have to worry about. The first being the thou shalt not murder rule, which basically states we can't kill anything unless it's absolutely necessary for the run to continue. This pretty much means we aren't allowed to kill any hostile mobs other than blazes and the ender dragon, since those are really the only 2 that are truly required to beat the game. But that rule's pretty easy compared to us having to type a prayer in the chat every time that we eat. Remember, we have to type this whole thing, which takes about 5 to 7 seconds. In other words, if we need to heal it all, we have to freeze for 5 to 7 seconds no matter what after we eat, which is going to make the nether in the end a lot more challenging. Okay, let's find this fortress. My main decider of success in this nether fight will be how fast I can type the Jewish prayer after you eat. Dude, before this recording session, I was actually training on monkey type so that I could type this faster. Oh, here's a spawner right here. Okay, we got monster hunter. Okay, that's 1 blaze rod. Okay, now look. Now we're gonna have to heal. Boom. See, this is where things get dicey. Anything could just get me right now, and I can't do anything. Ooh, no.
His name is Guy Burrow. This video has unbelievably 327,000 views. So basically almost 700,000 views. I can't believe it.
Dude. Oh, let me heal. I'm closing this off. Dude, it takes like 5 bread to heal. Dude, there's so many in there. Dude, why am I so scared right now? There's so many. Oh gosh, I need 1 more. Look at the chat. Okay, come on. Okay, get me out of here. We actually almost just died because we were typing our prayer. That's crazy. All right, now all that's left to do is just get our ender pearls. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really nervous about eating and then just dying in the ender dragon, but we're gonna do our best. Hey, we found it. Watch me lose all of my hours of progress on this world with the ender dragon. Oh, this is how you know you're dealing with a true Minecraft professional. Let's do this. Boom, snipes. I turn into the world's fastest sniper whenever I have to heal up. We're so close. Oh my gosh, already another perch.
This guy clearly has played a insane amount of Minecraft. If I had to guess, I would imagine he's played at least 10,000 hours of Minecraft.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. Yes! At first glance, I had done it. I beat Minecraft without breaking the commandments of Judaism. But shortly after entering the credits, I made a fatal error. That was a fun challenge, not really what I was expecting at all. Oh my god, I can't believe we actually beat that. Okay, before I end this video, there's something I have to do. In my last video, I said if we hit 50,000 subscribers, I would do an armpit reveal, and
So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and like and subscribe. Basically, I'm a Jew. I love Judaism. As some people know, I'm a convert. I was originally a Hebrew Israelite, which are black people that suddenly decided on their own that they're Jewish. Most of them hate Jews, which is really strange, right? If you decided you're a Jew, why would you hate the Jews that already are? But here we are. But anyway, thank you for watching. I love you. And I just want you to become closer to God, become closer to your spirituality, tap into your essence of who you are as a person, become your best self. I just want everyone to grow and really expand who you are, connect to yourself. As you could probably tell, it's very late at night. I am a little bit tired, and love you very much. Peace and love.